Hello everyone, this is an introductory lecture to business analytics and I will try to explain you what the business analytics are, what are the different types, and then I'm going to move into some basic, you know, analytics and we will try to start with something. And fundamentally, the tool which I'm going to use here is MS Excel. That is the tool which I'm going to use for this entire business analytics series, which I'm going to be putting up. Let's begin with the definition how exactly the business analytics works. So it is a discovery and communication of meaningful patterns of data. So understand that it is excitingly, it's the meaningful patterns of the data, what kind of meaningful patterns I can draw from the data. And I am trying to solve and I'm trying to see those particular patterns, that how these particular patterns are going to help me in identifying and solving business related problems. Since I'm dealing with business analytics, that's why it is predominantly mentioned business related problems. Otherwise, if I specifically only talk about analytics, it can apply in engineering, science, any other field, whatever you can think of. But here the idea is to deal with business related problems. That's why it is business analytics. There is a difference between business analysis and business analytics, or data analysis and data analytics. If I say data analysis, it actually analyzes the past data, and data analytics is about using that analysis to predict something in future. So the time frame actually, cuts the boundary between data analytics and data analysis. So data analysis of past data, data analytics is using that analysis to predict something for future. So it is a scientific process which is going to involve a branch of mathematics called statistics, and it is going to transform the data into insight for making better decisions. So you have raw data, you try to transform data into insights by using different tools, charts, tables, different statistical formulas, so that some decision making can be done. This is a rough flow. You have raw data, you convert it into a kind of information. That information actually leads to knowledge of that particular data, and you can use your wisdom to read that particular data clearly and make some kind of decisions. So it is, of course, extensively is going to use the data, which is statistical and quantitative, using statistical and quantitative analysis. So we'll be dealing with numbers in different forms. Yes, of course, in modern analytics, there are qualitative analytics also. So you can vouch for it that even if something is not in numbers, that can be analyzed. And exploring and predictive models and fact-based management to drive decision and actions. So if you see you have got some data, you are going to explore the possibilities, what can be done from the data, and then you develop a model which can be a predictive model, and you do fact-based management. That simply means that information what you have received, assuming that it is a factual information, and the noise of the data can be settled in between, and we are going to drive some decisions which are idea efficient and effective. So that's how the entire framework of business analytics is. If you want to drive some couple of frameworks for data analytics, then something like this goes on. So you get some kind of problem in business. So problem could be increasing cost or depleting sales or something of that sort. Then you collect the related data to it, and when you use the related data, then you try to describe that particular data, and in during description you also diagnose that what could be the possible cause of the problem. So you diagnose, pardon me for my spellings, and after diagnosing the problem, what you do is you try to, so this involves a lot of patterns, charts, tables, graphs, bars, and everything. Then you try to predict that if this thing continues, what is going to happen next, and then you try to prescribe that to avoid ugly situations. So what you can do to stop those ugly situations. Of course, everything with some probability, because you cannot do everything with certainty. And the other framework could be you do not have a problem at all. That means you have a regular data collection thing. So you have a regular data collection. That means you might be collecting data over months, years, weekly or something. You have some data management. And while doing descriptive, that's practically happens pretty much. You have descriptive. You suddenly you kind of find out a problem in the data. So while you were describing, you were doing regular description of data, regular study of data, and some problem pops up. Some problem pops up, and then you start going with the flow. Then you have the problem. Then you do go with further descriptives, and then you further diagnose it, and this pattern actually continues. So it is not necessary that right in the beginning there is some problem which is there foreseen or probably identified, which without even studying the descriptive data. Yes, it can be identified. These could be very boardroom problems where people think that times are changing. What are our IT interventions? How much budget we are spending in IT? And that's a problem. That means we are spending too less of budget on IT. And this is the kind of problem you may see that AI is coming up thick and fast, and you're sitting in a location where you do not have an exposure to AI. So, what can be done for AI? And then you start collecting related data and all that. So, problems can be spotted without any data by being futuristic, by boardroom discussions. And some people may argue but that's how I understood that these are the two possible patterns in business analytics of having a problem and actually giving you a direction and objective where exactly and how exactly you need to work on. So after doing this, what I'm going to do is I'll skip all this intro part. I am going to get into something important, which is exactly telling you that different type of business analytics. So we are in this particular course, I'm going to deal with all four types. So we're going to diagnose, we are going to do some diagnostic, we're going to do some descriptive, and you can see why did it happen, how did it happen, mostly in stocks markets, mostly it is a shocks and market information. And then what is happening, so describing how many, how often, and it's a kind of ad hoc reporting. What exactly the problem? We try to drill down. So we have information, we have analysis, and we need to make certain decisions here. Then we move to predictive analytics. And I'm sorry, this is not descriptive. This is incorrect. This is prescriptive. Prescriptive, right? This is prescriptive analytics. So how can we achieve the best outcome and all that? I'll try to explain you through a problem. So let us suppose some data is collected, and uh, this is some data which has been shown of a product where I have analyzed sales in crores. So sales in crores are growing over the period of time, and I've got expenses and there are profits, right? Sales are growing definitely. Expenses are also going side by side, and the profits are, they're not steadily growing. So that's I'm trying to do descriptive probably of 10 years, and identified that profits are not growing as you know linearly in the pattern with sales and expenses. So I try to dig more into the data. I went deep into the data and try to find out. So this could be a kind of slide which tells you, or graph which tells you number of clients in different regions. So I can see that east region, the number of clients, west region number of clients are orange, north is actually this gray, and I think east is right at the orange, so number of clients are same. And then the south, it has shown some that clients have increased over the period of time than stayed as they were, but the center is most vulnerable. You can see that, the number of clients are actually, more clients are coming up, going down, coming up. So this could be a basic problem which you can understand, because there is no stability and the center region. The clients are actually not staying as they were. So there's a deep dip in 2015. So there could be a possibility that even in the increased number of clients in south are not giving more revenue because other regions are not showing a steady growth in the clientage. This is a little diagnostic. Another thing is like how exactly your competitors are releasing the offers, that is by blue line, and how you are releasing the offers per year is the orange line. So you can see that I probably releasing 2 offers per year while my competitors are releasing 4 to 5 offers. So this could be one reason that I'm not growing in terms of clientage. So that's digging deep and diagnosing that what could be the possibility that despite of sales going up, probably my clientage is not increasing as it is. Perhaps my profits are or my sales are actually only going up because I'm putting up 10% extra on uh, I'm billing 10% additional every year to my clients. So that means I'm getting more money from the same clients. But the business is not growing as such. So this could be a diagnostic analysis. Then I use some predictive analytics tool to, you know, using a regression model, try to find out if this pattern continues, what could be the next possible 2022 years of sales, and why here is representing sales, right? So what could be the possible sales in 2022? So that's the kind of predictive. Prescriptive will let me understand that what should I do for Southeast West regions to increase the sales, right? So this is exactly the difference between descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive analytics.